Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out The Mike Wagner Show and make sure you subscribe. MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also donate on PayPal and also on Anchor FM/support. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by me and Motion Zia, go to Amazon.com, check out the Me and Motion Zia store, and make sure you order today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who was born and raised in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and graduated from the University of Virginia, major in English, pursued a law degree from William and Mary, and also a member of the Virginia, Maryland, and the D.C. bars, and also Massachusetts as well. Spent 2 years as a private detective and created the Joth Proctor Fixter character, which we'll talk about in just a minute, as Mr. Fixter is portrayed as an underemployed criminal defense lawyer with solo practice in Arlington, Virginia, and also gets into an interesting web. We'll talk about his latest book, Friends Like These, and also Friend of a Friend. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Virginia, he's a friend of a friend, and we got Friends Like These. Ladies and gentlemen, the very multi-talented author, Jim Irving. Jim, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Thanks for being on board. So you're born and raised in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and you graduated from the University of Virginia in English. You also pursued a law degree, and you graduated from William & Mary, and you're also the member of the Bar Association in Virginia, Maryland, and District of Columbia, and also Massachusetts, and spent 2 years as a private detective. You also created the Joth Proctor Fixer, which is based on your series, which is Friend of a Friend and Friends Like These. And before we get into all that, which is amazing, we'd like to hear you more. But first, tell us how you first got started, Jim.
Well, I studied English in college, as you mentioned, and a lot of that was creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty serious about it, enjoyed it very much, but hard to make a living doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Also hard to make a living as a private detective, but I took a shot at that for 2 years. And I didn't want to work at a desk right out of college, so I had this opportunity and took it. And it was interesting 2 years.
It does sound interesting. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into being a writer?
You know, I've always been interested in writing. And when I went to the private detective business, I had it in the back of my mind, I'm quite sure, that someday these adventures might turn into stories, because you spend a lot of time sitting around looking at a car or a door, and you have a lot of time to cogitate over this stuff. So I'm sure that was in my mind. It just took a long time for it to germinate.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, that you spent 2 years employed as a private detective in Northern Virginia. You pursued wayward spouses, located skips, investigated insurance claims, handled criminal investigations, and earlier you practiced criminal law as well, too, and also forms the fictional account of Joth Proctor, and maybe just some interesting stories about wayward spouses, located skips, and insurance claims, and whatever else. And, especially what's happening today, it seems pretty interesting.
Well, when I was a private detective, there were only 3 bases for divorce: cruelty, desertion, or adultery. Mm-hmm. So if somebody wanted to get divorced, they were knocking at our door, suggesting that their husband or wife was playing around, and in some cases hoping that they were. And so, we're off in the car on Saturday night trying to find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And that led to some, you never knew where you're going to end up in a case like that.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even where you'd spend the night in some cases, because you might end up in, 40 miles from your home watching the door all night.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you did that back in the early day as well, too. And also tying in social media, do you think, catching cheating spouses or tracing skips or investigating claims, do you think that's gotten easier, today? Or what was it, earlier, like back in the day?
Well, we have the internet now, and we didn't have it when I was a kid. And so I think that does change things. But there's no substitute for, getting hard evidence, which is usually testimony or photographs. And even though we have no-fault divorce now, adultery cases, some of my partners are divorce lawyers, and adultery cases are still part of the business. It's an ugly part of the business, but nonetheless, it is.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, that you also created the Joth Proctor Fixer character, too. And how'd you first come about creating Joth Proctor?
Well, Joth Proctor is a totally fictional character. I mean, he starts out with some of the, I won't say characteristics, but some things he has in common with me. We're both from Massachusetts. We both went to UVA. We're both lawyers. We both played lacrosse. And those are things that allowed me to have a stable understanding of the character that I was trying to develop. And from there, I built up a fictional character based both on my imagination and, tying in some of the adventures that I had, both as a young lawyer when I was trying a lot of cases, and also as a detective.
Mm-hmm. And also too, growing up, being a lawyer and also a detective as well too. And who are some of your favorite, writers and authors, and especially, books back in the day?
Yeah, I look at it that there's two kinds of detective stories. There's the Agatha Christie sort of school of whodunits, and then there's the hard-bitten school of Raymond Chandler and Dashiell Hammett, in which you've got more of a gritty environment, a kind of a noir atmosphere. And I've always preferred the second, those kind of gritty, life is tough, I'm going to stick to my code no matter what type of character. And I like those books the best, and I've tried to make my own books, within that model, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. And then how about Sherlock Holmes, and how big of an influence is that? It seems like it's close to Dashiell Hammett in a sense. Everybody thinks detective, everybody thinks of Sherlock Holmes.
I didn't catch you there, Mike.
No, I'm sorry. You talk about Dashiell Hammett and along those lines, but Sherlock Holmes also comes to mind. Maybe some of your thoughts on that.
Well, Dashiell Hammett. I just watched the Maltese Falcon last week.
Oh, really?
We're always trying to pick up new pointers, and it's just it's a gray world that these people live in, and the money's scarce, ethics are challenged, the lines between right and wrong are thin, and that's how it is in Joth's world. I'm in Arlington, Virginia. It's not exactly the inner city, but there is an underbelly to any city, and I try to find that there. There's strip clubs, there's corrupt cops, there are things like that in my books, and those things also exist where I live.
Mm-hmm. And of course, too, that we'll also talk about your couple of books as well, too. And what are some of your favorite books growing up? We already went over the authors and writers, and how about some of your favorite books?
So my favorite books, is that what you asked?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that Maltese Falcon is among them. Some of the Raymond Chandler books, Farewell, My Lovely, The Long Goodbye, The Big Sleep. Those are the kind of books that I will read again and again.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it, too. We'll talk about the books that you also created, too. We'll talk about Friend of a Friend and Friends Like These and more. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and evil evidence endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by me and Molson Zia, go to Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia and check out his great merchandise like t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, and more, and great books like Missing Once as well. Don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com with your generous donation. And don't forget to support as well too on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with lawyer, detective, and also author Jim Irving here on the Mike Wagner Show with the Joth Proctor Fixer mystery series. And before we talk about your latest Friends Like These, let's talk about Friend of a Friend, your first book, and tell us about that book and how you got the ball rolling.
Well, in Friend of a Friend, you open up the book and Holly's dead. She died on the couch, and nobody knows necessarily how she died or why she died, but you find out pretty quickly that she was sitting on a very valuable piece of real property in suburban Washington, D.C., and either her estranged husband or her brother is going to get that property and develop it and become a rich person. They're both willing to lie, cheat, and steal to get it. And as the story goes on, we find out or look into what else they might be willing to do to get it.
And also too, I also notice in Friends Like These that you also have, being the world, you're also tied with Jimmy Flambeau. Now is this like tied also? Yeah. Now is this tied to like the mob in a way, or it could be like maybe a conspiracy, or say with tied to any organized crime or anything?
Jimmy Flambeau is a character who's developed more in the later novels, which I'm well on the way to doing. He's a gambler, and gamblers oftentimes are involved in lending money, which can cause its own problems and issues. And Jimmy does all that stuff. And he is a guy of slippery character, and he's sort of a dangerous man who infects the story throughout.
And also too, going back to with Friend of a Friend as well too, that Holly was found murdered, and then you also start with the investigation and everything else, and also corruption and greed, and also you had this part in, and maybe just a bit more about a friend of a friend that Joth Proctor starts coming in, and then he just gets involved in a twist and turn, and maybe just a few highlights more on Friend of a Friend, and especially where it relates it to Friends Like These.
Micah, you broke up a little bit there, and I couldn't quite make that out.
Okay, I'm sorry. Talking about with Friend of a Friend, going back to where Holly died on the couch, there's corruption, greed, and then trying to figure out, and that's where Joth Proctor comes in, and maybe just a few twists and turns and everything else. And what are some of the problems that Joth Proctor, pretty much came across, and how did he solve them?
Yeah. Well, there are twists and turns indeed, and a lot of them have to do with personalities and relationships. The estranged husband of Holly happens to be Joth's best friend. They practiced law together as young lawyers before the estranged husband was disbarred, and so that relationship creates tensions and conflicts that might affect how Joth looks at things or how he's asked to look at things. It's also true that the Commonwealth's attorney, that is the local prosecutor, is Joth's ex-girlfriend, and girlfriend is probably a lighter term than what she really was, his great love, who jilted him, and he's never gotten over it. And he's got to work with her on a daily basis because he's a criminal lawyer, and she's involved in the investigation of this death. So, there's overlays of personal stress and tension throughout the book.
And also too that you also had Jade, an exotic dancer. You also have private detective D.P. Tran and strip club owner Irish Dan Crowley, and it all sounds like it's kind of like a mob in a way too. That's what it sounds like. So,
well, Irish Dan. No, I used to represent the local. How am I going to put this? I used to do work for the local strip club owner.
Oh, really?
There is a strip club in Arlington, and they have people there who get in trouble sometimes. And at some point in my youth, I got pretty friendly with the guy, and he referred me a lot of those cases. When one of his employees would get in trouble, maybe have a little criminal problem or something, I would get the call and have a chance to defend those people. And, that created some interesting cases, and those are folded into these stories as well.
And do you think in some cases it could have been like a conflict of interest?
I'm sorry?
Do you think in some of those cases it could have been a conflict of interest?
Well, yeah. I mean, ethics are important to a lawyer, and they are fungible in this series of books. People are ethically challenged throughout, and not just lawyers, and everybody. And That's one of the tensions that arises in these books. Do you stay true to your code? Do you stay true to the law? Do you stay true to yourself? And what are the ethical challenges you face to do that?
Mm-hmm. And of course, let's this transpires over to Friends Like These, where Joth is underemployed, criminal defense lawyer, marginal civil practice in Arlington, and he's got a unique mix of Southern charm, shady business dealings, and Washington D.C. Intrigue as well. Too, this about the suspicious death of a wife of a close friend, and he enters in a web of drug and alcohol abuse, family real estate deceit, and friends of questionable character, and of course he is also an ex-athlete as well too. And it sounds like a really, really interesting mix: drug and alcohol abuse, family real estate deceit, and friends of questionable character. And it almost sounds like the fact that this is what's really happening today, involving like with drugs and also tied into real estate.
Well, I hope so. I mean, the series, these books they stand alone, but they also present a continuing story. And I've tried to, keep the characters developed, the relationships developed, and the problems that affect somebody in one book, could carry over to the next book. And that's been part of the fun for me.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is also a book of a trilogy. And is there going to be like a third book in the works?
The third book has been written, and it's probably going to come out in the late, before Christmas is sort of the target. I got to kind of go over it a little bit and edit it up, but it's done, and I'm happy with it, and I'm working on the fourth.
Okay, that's great. And would this been possible to write if you didn't live in the D.C. area?
I'm sorry?
I said, would this particular story or book have been possible to write if you didn't live in the D.C. area or Virginia?
Well, I mean, D.C. is the locale because I live here, and I'm not from Arlington, Virginia, but I've lived here for many years, and I know it, so it seemed to form a good locale for me. It's an intriguing city. It's right outside of Washington. It's a bedroom community for government workers, but it's really expanded and grown to be a business hub. And there's a lot going on here, and a lot that can go on here.
That's rather interesting. And I also forgot to ask you, coming from Gloucester, Massachusetts, going to Virginia, tell me about your journey going from Gloucester, Mass, over to Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah, not a lot of people, I don't think, follow that path, academically, geographically. I grew up in Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. I spent a lot of time up there. But I got to the point where I, wanted to try something else. And UVA seemed like a good spot. And it turned out that it was. I had a great experience there. I loved it. And, you get out of school. I always intended to go back to Massachusetts, but you get out of school, you get a job. Next thing you know, it's 20 years later and you're still there. So here I am.
And that's something, too. And here you are, an amazing writer of the Joth Proctor Fixer Mystery Series. And where can we find Friend of a Friend and Friends Like These at?
Well, they're available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and they're available as well. You can check out my website, www.jamesvirving.com, and the links are there for the electronic books.
All right, we certainly will do that. And what's coming up for Jim Irving and more. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Jim Irving of the Joth Proctor Fixer Mystery Series after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with author Jim Irving of the Joth Proctor Fixer Mystery here on the Mike Wagner Show, and we talked about friend of a friend, friends like these, an amazing career with Jim being a lawyer, detective, and heading into writing with his 2 books, and his third one is just about done. It's in the process here. And what else can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Jim?
What else can we expect in the future on these books?
Yes.
Well, I think that these books will continue to take place as long as the characters remain fresh to me, and as long as there are intricacies that I can explore between them. As I mentioned, there are relationships that exist, friendships, romantic relationships, business ties that can be stressed and strained and pulled apart and pushed back together again. And I think the plots are important, but what's equally important to me is the relationships that I've got in these books, and the struggle Joth has to sort of stay true to his own code as he deals with a world that is, where the line between right and wrong is not always clear, and his friends are all ethically challenged.
Mm-hmm. And also, just one more thing, what can readers get out of these mysteries?
Well, I think it's entertainment, first of all. I find that in writing these things, you learn a lot about yourself because you're exploring character. And, maybe these stories are thought-provoking in terms of how the characters act and think. And it may allow people to, raise questions in their own mind about those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And I think it also, raises the question of what your personal moral code is and how or whether you always stick to it.
Mm-hmm. And do you think a lot of these detectives out there stick to their moral code? Do you think the majority have pretty much strayed away from them?
There are a lot of detectives out there who don't, everybody has a code of some sort, and most people's codes are flexible. The better people's codes aren't flexible. They stick to their guns no matter what. I don't think it matters what profession you're in, whether you have a strict code and stick to it or not. It matters who you are.
That's rather interesting, too, and I think that's well taken as well, too, Jim. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Well, I think it would be the teachers I had in school. But I also, when I was a private detective, I worked for 2 pretty colorful guys, pretty unique individuals who taught me a lot about the private detective trade, taught me a lot about life, and were people who were always thinking fast and in maybe good and bad ways that it allowed me to see a whole other side of life that I've enjoyed and put into my books.
That's rather fascinating. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Well, I'm not a person who qualifies to give anybody advice, I don't think. But, I think that it's important that you have what you want in life and that you go after it with integrity. And if you do that, that's probably a pretty good rule to live by.
And that's a very good rule indeed. Once again, author Jim Irving of Friends Like These and Friend of a Friend as part of the Joth Proctor Fixer Mystery Series here on the Mike Wagner Show. Jim, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond, especially for the 3rd and 4th books. Don't forget to keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or check out your books?
Well, once again, it's www.jamesvirving.com. That's my website. Books are available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. and they're electronically available through my website. And I hope that people will enjoy them.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Jim, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific.
Thank you very much. I very much enjoyed it.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.